huge, right?
Yeah, absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And but not a massive fan of this album, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think I liked it more on the first listen than the third or fourth. I think there's some great moments, but if it's first out, very long.
It is a bit.
It's like 56 minutes long.
I did find it
like
getting
that.
a bit samey towards the end as well. So the last several tracks, maybe. I think after actually Blinding Lights.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think after that I just sort of went a bit.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think actually I don't know. Yeah, I guess it did. I would say, like, for me the first section feels too samey to me, too commercial. The first 5 songs, like one of them, it's fine, but like, yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad music, but like some of it at one point I was starting to feel like, is this like Elton John or something?
He's on there.
Is he?
I just looked this up. I couldn't believe this. Elton John was actually a co-writer on.
Oh my god, which song?
"Scared to Live," track 4.
Oh my god, that is exactly the song I was thinking. This sounds like Elton John or something.
That's amazing, isn't it?
That is insane. I had no idea. I have not looked that up at all.
I know.
Holy shit.
Who should play?
Yeah. Anyway,
not one of the better tracks, I know. But
no, I mean, he did that on SNL a couple of weeks back, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was wouldn't have been my choice. But, and I think that's kind of my problem with this overall, is that when he first came out and did the House of Balloons stuff and everything, it was this very much, you can't really say raw. It's not like it was like a punk album or anything, but for this kind of music that is primarily sort of like keyboard and drum machine driven, some guitars, it was still very raw, and his melodies seemed like really fresh, and like, I mean, his lyrics have always been about drugs and sex, but he seemed like particularly belligerent and offensive in the early days.
Yes.
And now it's like he's trying to be like a Michael Jackson thing. Obviously he loves Michael Jackson. Like, right. It's too much of it is just like I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of years if he has like a "Heal the World" kind of song. Just
I could
that
see that.
pure dreck, like that.
Yeah.
One of the worst songs ever written, I will go on record as saying.
It's pretty awful.
Like, "Heal the World" it almost undoes the greatness of Billie Jean for me. But I digress. I just think, the first section is too commercial and feels pretty samey. And it's okay, but I think "Escape from LA" is the first really worthwhile song on the album.
Okay.
Which I like that song quite a lot. And I think that's probably from "Escape from LA" through "Blinding Lights" is probably the strongest part of the album for me.
I've always liked "Heartless." That's kind of a good one. And "Faith" was alright too, actually.
I think "Faith" is one of the better songs, actually. And
I mean, I like a lot of the way a lot of the music sounds. The production obviously is very nice. I love the synths, the sort of retro sound. Obviously on Blinding Lights again, it's really cool, really catchy hook on that. Yeah, that's just a highlight on the album for me. But
see, I agree with you, but I think like the song "In Your Eyes," like, I think has a strong chorus melody, but it sounds so 80s to the point it took me out of the song completely. Like, it's completely distracting how 80s it is.
Okay.
It sounds like somebody doing a parody of the 80s. Okay. And I just felt like all these ridiculous like sounds and this instrumentation and the drums and stuff. It was like, there's a good song here, but you can't even take it seriously. It's so like, it's like in a movie if they made a fake 80s song. That's just what it is. And it's one thing to have influence or to go back and use elements from like different time periods and try and reinvigorate them, or like something like M83 sounds super 80s, but it doesn't sound 80s at all at the same time. Yeah, it sounds so new. They
did that so well,
while also being very obviously inspired by the 80s. This is literally like if Craig Robinson, Seth Rogen, those guys did a movie set in the 80s, this song could be in that movie. Like, it's just, like, it's really not a good idea to go that far into something that's, like, long past its best now, I think. I think Save Your Tears is fucking awful as well. Which is the following track. I won't even bother with it.
Oh, there you go. That's what I was saying. Like, towards the end, it's just...
I think the Repeat After Me interlude song done by Kevin Parker from Tame Impala is quite nice. It's kind of boring, but it's okay. And I think Until I Bleed is pretty good. Until I Bleed Out, sorry.
Yeah. Which
is the last track.
Oh, okay.
But at that point, it just feels like it's so long, and it's all kind of running together. And I don't know. All I can think is like, I really miss the old Weeknd.
Okay.
So
he's one of these artists who's trying to like be creative or change his style rather than sticking with his guns, right?
I guess so.
I mean, maybe he should just stick to what he's. But it's the fame, isn't it? It's the glory, it's the money. It's the
I mean, ultimately that's the thing.
That's what he's doing.
He is, I think, as he's getting more successful and more popular, and good for him, because ultimately, as we always say, that's what you're doing it for.
Yeah.
Right? If you can make more money doing it this way, then good for you. But artistically, he's regressing.
Right.
Commercially progressing, but artistically regressing, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that.
And certainly there's nothing, even, his like the Kissland album was not great, but the title track is amazing, and there's certainly nothing even remotely close to that quality here. And so I would say, I like Escape from LA, I like Faith, and obviously Blinding Lights is the best song, but I'm probably going 2.5 on this.
2.5.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'll give it
maybe a light 3, but maybe a heavy 2.5.
Okay, I'm gonna give it a 3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it. As we been saying, it's nothing special really. It's not something I'm gonna come back to, unfortunately. Apart from a couple of tracks.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm probably never gonna come back. That's the thing. At first, I probably would have given a 3.5.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it twice today, and the more I listen to it, the less I like it. And that's the problem. Like, that is not a good sign for a new album. You listen to it 4 times or something, and you just like it less every time. That is just not a good sign for an album's longevity, as far as I'm concerned. If it doesn't have
the repeat listening value, then it's not something you need.
And I think when you have an album that is almost an hour in runtime, one thing you should be able to say is that it has plenty of repeat value.